Chapter 1: The illustrious Jia family. The Jia family's prestigious lineage. The Jia family stands as a paragon of wealth, power, and prestige in the capital. Their residence, the Rongua Mansion, is a sprawling estate that embodies their social status and influence. The mansion is an architectural marvel, with intricately designed gardens, grand halls, and private quarters that echo the splendor of the family's lineage. The Jias are part of the elite, their name synonymous with honor and respect. At the helm of this illustrious family is Jia Zheng, a man of stern demeanor and unyielding principles. As a high-ranking official in the imperial court, Jia Zheng commands both fear and respect. His strict adherence to Confucian ideals of duty and propriety defines his approach to governance and family life. He is often seen as a distant and imposing figure, whose primary concern is the maintenance of the family's honor and societal standing. Beside Jia Zheng is his wife, Lady Wang, who contrasts her husband with her kindness and gentleness. Lady Wang is the quintessential matron, beloved by the household for her compassionate nature. She is a pillar of support for her husband, navigating the complexities of family dynamics with grace and patience. Lady Wang's nurturing presence is felt throughout the mansion, as she tends to the needs and well-being of every member of the extended family. The birth of Jia Baoyu. Among the Jias, the most intriguing figure is their son, Jia Baoyu. From the moment of his birth, Baoyu is marked by a unique destiny. He enters the world with a piece of jade in his mouth, an auspicious sign that sets him apart. This jade stone, inscribed with mystical characters, is believed to confer upon Baoyu an extraordinary fate. The family regards this as a heavenly omen, indicating that Baoyu is no ordinary child. Baoyu grows up under the watchful eyes of his family, his intelligence and sensitivity becoming apparent early on. He is a boy of remarkable talents, with a poetic soul and an innate understanding of the world around him. However, Baoyu's disdain for traditional studies and rigid societal expectations creates a rift between him and his father. Jia Zheng's dreams of his son following in his footsteps as a scholar official clash with Baoyu's rebellious spirit and his preference for literature, art, and the company of women. Despite his rebellious nature, Baoyu is beloved by his grandmother, Grandmother Jia, the matriarch of the family. Grandmother Jia, a formidable yet affectionate woman, wields significant influence over the household. Her love for Baoyu is boundless, and she indulges him in ways that often frustrate Jia Zheng. To her, Baoyu represents the heart and soul of the family, a precious jewel whose brilliance must be protected and cherished. The arrival of Lin Dayu. The Jia family's dynamics take a poignant turn with the arrival of Lin Dayu, Baoyu's beautiful and delicate cousin. Dayu comes to live in the Rongua mansion after the death of her mother, adding a new layer of complexity to the household. She is a girl of exceptional beauty and intelligence, her presence bringing both joy and melancholy to the mansion. Dayu and Baoyu share an immediate and profound emotional connection. Their bond is forged through shared interests in poetry, music, and the arts. However, their relationship is fraught with the challenges posed by family expectations and societal norms. Dayu, with her fragile health and sensitive nature, finds solace and companionship in Baoyu, yet she is acutely aware of the pressures surrounding their relationship. Life in the Rongua Mansion. Life in the Rongua Mansion is a tapestry of opulence and intricate social relations. The mansion itself is divided into various quarters, each bustling with activity and teeming with relatives, servants, and companions. The daily life of the Jia family is a complex ballet of rituals, banquets, and social gatherings, reflecting their high status and the demands of maintaining their position in society. Grandmother Jia's quarters are the heart of the mansion, a place where family members gather to seek her wisdom and guidance. She presides over these gatherings with a keen eye, her decisions often shaping the lives of those around her. Her approval or disapproval can determine the course of family events, making her a pivotal figure in the household. The Rongua mansion is also home to numerous servants and maids, each playing a crucial role in the smooth functioning of the household. Among them are characters like Aroma, Sky Bright, and Patience, who serve Baoyu and other family members. Their interactions with the family provide a glimpse into the lives of those who serve behind the scenes, highlighting the class distinctions and intricate relationships within the mansion. The emotional landscape. As Baoyu and Dayu navigate their complex emotions, the mansion becomes a stage for their burgeoning love and the inevitable conflicts that arise. Baoyu's affectionate and sometimes frivolous behavior contrasts with Dayu's introspective and often melancholic disposition. Their relationship is a delicate dance of passion and restraint, their moments together filled with poetry recitations, music, and silent understandings. The presence of Shui Baochai, another of Baoyu's cousins, adds further tension to the emotional landscape. Baochai is the epitome of virtue and composure, admired by all for her beauty and intelligence. Her pragmatic and composed nature stands in stark contrast to Dayu's emotional intensity. While Baochai's interactions with Baoyu are cordial and respectful, the underlying current of competition between her and Dayu for Baoyu's affection is palpable. The looming conflict. The chapter sets the stage for the inevitable conflicts and tragedies that will unfold. Jia Zheng's determination to mold Baoyu into a model Confucian scholar clashes with Baoyu's free-spirited nature. Grandmother Jia's indulgence of Baoyu further exacerbates the tension between father and son. Meanwhile, the growing bond between Baoyu and Dayu is shadowed by the family's expectations and the looming presence of Baochai as a potential match for Baoyu. The intricate web of relationships within the Jia family is both a source of strength and vulnerability. The Rongua mansion, with all its grandeur, becomes a microcosm of the larger societal forces at play. The family's adherence to tradition and the pressures of maintaining their status set the stage for the personal dramas that will unfold, highlighting the fragile balance between duty and desire, honor and love. Conclusion. Chapter 1 of Dream of the Red Chamber introduces us to the grandeur and complexity of the Jia family, setting the stage for the intricate narrative that follows. Through the lens of the Rongua mansion, we glimpse the rich tapestry of relationships, emotions, and societal expectations that define the lives of its inhabitants. The chapter is a masterful blend of character introduction and thematic exploration, laying the foundation for the epic tale of love, duty, and the impermanence of human endeavors. Chapter 2: Love and Jealousy. The arrival of Shui Baochai. Within the opulent walls of the Rongua mansion, the arrival of Shui Baochai introduces a new dynamic to the already intricate social web of the Jia family. Baochai, the daughter of a wealthy salt merchant, is the epitome of grace and virtue. Her beauty is matched by her intelligence and impeccable manners, making her a paragon of the ideal Chinese woman according to Confucian values. Baochai's presence is immediately felt throughout the mansion, her composed and dignified demeanor earning her the admiration and respect of both family members and servants. Baochai's arrival is marked by a sense of inevitability, as though her presence is destined to shift the delicate balance of relationships within the family. She quickly becomes a favored guest of grandmother Jia, whose approval is a coveted endorsement within the household. Baochui's comportment and understanding of familial duty make her an exemplar of filial piety and womanly virtue, further endearing her to the elder Jia. Contrasts and comparisons. The contrast between Baochui and Lin Dayu could not be more pronounced. Dayu, with her frail health and emotionally expressive nature, stands in stark opposition to Baochui's robust health and stoic disposition. Dayu's beauty is ethereal and delicate, while Baochui's is more grounded and radiant. Dayu's emotions are transparent, her face often a canvas for her inner turmoil, whereas Baochui's feelings are guarded, her expressions measured and controlled. Despite these differences, Baoyu's bond with Dayu deepens. Their connection is one of soulmates, forged through shared interests in poetry and music. They often retreat to the tranquil gardens or the quiet corners of the mansion to recite poetry, their words echoing their innermost thoughts and feelings. These moments are sacred to them, a sanctuary from the pressures and expectations of the world around them. Dayu's vulnerability and Baoyu's empathetic nature create a relationship that is both tender and intense. Baoyu finds in Dayu a kindred spirit, someone who understands his disdain for the rigidities of Confucian education and societal expectations. Dayu, in turn, finds solace in Baoyu's presence, his love providing a counterbalance to her frequent bouts of melancholy. The growing bond and emerging jealousy. As Baoyu and Dayu's relationship flourishes, the undercurrents of jealousy begin to surface, not only within the family but also in the broader household. Baochui, though not outwardly displaying any resentment, becomes increasingly aware of the special bond between Baoyu and Dayu. Her composed demeanor hides any personal feelings of envy or longing, but her keen observation of the household dynamics does not miss the growing closeness between her cousins. The family, particularly grandmother Jia and Lady Wang, start to voice their preferences more openly. They see Baochui as the ideal match for Baoyu, someone who can stabilize his rebellious nature and complement his intellectual pursuits with her own refined qualities. Discussions of marriage between Baoyu and Baochui begin to circulate within the mansion, causing an undercurrent of tension that permeates the daily life of the family. Dayu, acutely sensitive to the shifts in the household's atmosphere, becomes increasingly distressed. She senses the impending separation from Baoyu and the familial pressures mounting in favor of Baochui. Dayu's health, always delicate, begins to deteriorate further under the weight of her emotional turmoil. Her once frequent exchanges of poetry and shared moments with Baoyu become tinged with sadness and a premonition of loss. The love triangle. The relationship between Baoyu, Dayu, and Baochui forms a poignant love triangle, with each character embodying different aspects of love and duty. Baoyu, caught between his deep affection for Dayu and the expectations of his family, finds himself in a position of increasing conflict. His heart yearns for Dayu, but he cannot ignore the pressure to conform to his family's wishes. Dayu's love for Baoyu is intense and consuming, but it is also fraught with the fear of losing him. Her jealousy of Baochui is not rooted in personal animosity but in the threat Baochui poses to her happiness with Baoyu. This jealousy manifests in moments of sharpness and withdrawal, further isolating Dayu from the rest of the family. Baochui, on the other hand, embodies the virtues that the family holds dear. Her feelings for Baoyu are complex. While she respects and admires him, she also understands the practical implications of their union. Baochui's jealousy of Dayu is subtle, often expressed through her impeccable adherence to social norms and her efforts to win the favor of the family elders. She does not wish harm upon Baoyu, but she recognizes the necessity of her own position within the family hierarchy. The family's influence. The family's desire to maintain its status and secure a prosperous future for Baoyu plays a critical role in shaping the love triangle. Grandmother Jia and Lady Wang's influence is pervasive, their preference for Bao Chai as Baoyu's future wife becoming more overt. They see the union as a strategic alliance that will reinforce the family's social standing and bring stability to Baoyu's wayward tendencies. Lady Wang, in particular, is concerned with the practical aspects of marriage. She views Bao Chai as a suitable match not only for her virtues but also for her family's wealth and connections. Lady Wang's subtle manipulations and encouragements towards this match create an atmosphere of inevitability that weighs heavily on Baoyu and Baoyu. Grandmother Jia, while fond of Baoyu, also sees the benefit of a match between Baoyu and Bao Chai. Her pragmatic approach to the family's future leads her to support the idea, albeit with a heavy heart. She understands the deep bond between Baoyu and Baoyu but believes that familial duty and the preservation of their status must take precedence. Baoyu's decline. As the pressure mounts, Baoyu's health continues to decline. Her frailty is exacerbated by the emotional stress she endures, her nights often spent in tears, and her days in a state of anxious anticipation. The once vibrant and spirited girl becomes a shadow of herself, her poetic musings turning more melancholic and her interactions with Baoyu becoming increasingly strained. Baoyu, torn between his love for Baoyu and his duty to his family, finds himself in a state of perpetual distress. He tries to comfort Baoyu, but his efforts are often undermined by the reality of their situation. The impending separation looms over their interactions, casting a pall of sadness and inevitability. The servants and other members of the household, though aware of the growing tension, can do little to alleviate the situation. Their whispered conversations and sidelong glances add to the atmosphere of unease, making the mansion feel like a gilded cage where personal desires are sacrificed on the altar of duty and social expectation. Conclusion. Chapter 2 of Dream of the Red Chamber delves deep into the emotional landscape of the Jia family, exploring the themes of love, jealousy, and duty. The arrival of Shui Baochai and the intensification of Baoyu and Baoyu's relationship create a rich tapestry of conflicting emotions and societal pressures. The family's efforts to maintain their status and secure a prosperous future for Baoyu set the stage for a tragic love triangle, where personal desires are often at odds with familial duty. The intricate dynamics within the Rongua mansion highlight the fragility of human relationships and the inevitable sorrow that arises from unfulfilled desires. As the chapter unfolds, the reader is drawn into a world where love and jealousy coexist, where the pursuit of happiness is constantly thwarted by the demands of duty and tradition. The looming separation between Baoyu and Baoyu casts a long shadow over their bond, setting the stage for the heartbreak and tragedy that will follow. Chapter 3: Decline of the Jia family. The crumbling edifice. The once glorious Jia family, known for its wealth, power, and influence, begins to face the inexorable decline that threatens to unravel the fabric of their lives. The Rongua mansion, a symbol of their prestige, becomes a silent witness to the mounting troubles that besiege the family. The luxurious lifestyle they lead, characterized by lavish banquets, opulent clothing, and extravagant spending, sets the stage for their financial ruin. Mismanagement of family affairs and rampant corruption contribute significantly to the decline. Key family members, entrusted with the responsibility of managing the family's wealth, indulge in embezzlement and other corrupt practices. These unethical actions drain the family's resources, leading to a precarious financial situation that becomes increasingly difficult to conceal. Political turmoil and Jia Zheng's struggles. Jia Zheng, the head of the family, finds himself embroiled in political challenges that further exacerbate the family's plight. As a high-ranking official, he is not immune to the intrigues and machinations of court politics. His strict adherence to Confucian ideals and his unwavering sense of duty make him a target for rivals who seek to undermine his position. The political turmoil not only affects Jia Zheng's career but also casts a shadow over the entire family. Jia Zheng's efforts to restore the family's honor and stability are met with limited success. His stern and uncompromising approach often alienates potential allies and creates further divisions within the family. The mounting political pressure, combined with the deteriorating financial situation, places an enormous burden on Jia Zheng, whose health and spirit begin to wane under the strain. Baoyu's disillusionment and spiritual awakening. Amid the family's decline, Baoyu becomes increasingly disillusioned with the material world and the rigid societal norms that govern their lives. His sensitive and introspective nature leads him to question the values and practices that have defined his upbringing. The corruption and hypocrisy he observes within his family and the broader society deepen his sense of disillusionment. Baoyu retreats into a world of dreams and reflections, seeking solace in spiritual and philosophical contemplations. His frequent interactions with Taoist and Buddhist monks, as well as his immersion in literature and poetry, fuel his growing detachment from worldly affairs. Baoyu's introspective journey is marked by a quest for meaning and enlightenment, as he grapples with the transient nature of life and the inevitability of suffering. In his moments of solitude, Baoyu reflects on the fleeting nature of wealth, power, and human relationships. He becomes increasingly drawn to the idea of renunciation and spiritual liberation, finding comfort in the teachings of impermanence and detachment. These reflections, while offering him personal solace, further alienate him from the expectations and responsibilities placed upon him by his family. Baoyu's deteriorating health and heartache. As the family's fortunes wane, Lin Baoyu's health continues to decline. Her fragile constitution, already weakened by years of emotional turmoil, is further eroded by the pressures and heartache she endures. Baoyu's love for Baoyu, combined with the constant fear of losing him, takes a severe toll on her body and spirit. The impending marriage between Baoyu and Bao Chai, driven by the family's desire to secure a prosperous alliance, exacerbates Baoyu's suffering. She becomes increasingly withdrawn, her once vibrant spirit overshadowed by a pervasive sadness. Baoyu's poetic expressions, once filled with the beauty of nature and emotion, now reflect a deep sense of melancholy and resignation. The physical manifestation of Baoyu's suffering is evident to those around her, but the family's preoccupation with their own troubles often leaves her plight overlooked. Her isolation within the grand mansion, coupled with the lack of genuine support, accelerates her decline. Baoyu's poignant struggle becomes a symbol of the personal sacrifices made in the name of familial duty and societal expectations. Bao Chai's composure and dutifulness. In stark contrast to Baoyu's visible suffering, Shui Bao Chai remains composed and dutiful amidst the turmoil. Her understanding of the family's expectations and her role within it underscores her every action. Baochai's pragmatic approach to the challenges they face reflects her inner strength and resilience. Despite her personal feelings, Baochai embraces her responsibilities with unwavering commitment. She navigates the complexities of the household with grace, providing a sense of stability and order in an otherwise chaotic environment. Baochai's composed demeanor and adherence to duty garner the respect of the family elders, further solidifying her position within the Jia family. However, Baochai's outward composure hides the internal conflict she experiences. Her feelings for Baoyu, coupled with the awareness of Dayu's love for him, create a subtle tension that she carefully manages. Baochai's ability to balance personal desires with familial duty exemplifies her selflessness, even as it underscores the tragic nature of her situation, intensifying tensions and familial strife. As the family's decline accelerates, the tension between personal desires and familial duty becomes increasingly palpable. The impending marriage between Baoyu and Baochai, intended to secure the family's future, becomes a focal point of this tension. The elders' insistence on the union, despite Baoyu's obvious distress and Dayu's deteriorating health, highlights the ruthless pragmatism that governs their decisions. Baoyu's reluctance to comply with the arranged marriage strains his relationships with his parents, particularly Jia Zheng. The once distant and formal relationship between father and son becomes fraught with open conflict, as Baoyu's defiance clashes with Jia Zheng's authoritarian expectations. The generational divide, coupled with differing values and priorities, exacerbates the family's internal strife. Within the broader household, servants and relatives observe the unfolding drama with a mix of concern and helplessness. The once harmonious and orderly environment of the Rongua mansion is disrupted by frequent arguments, whispered gossip, and an overarching sense of unease. The decline of the Jia family, both in terms of wealth and internal cohesion, becomes increasingly evident to all who reside within its walls. The waning influence of Grandmother Jia. Grandmother Jia, the matriarch whose influence once held the family together, finds her authority waning in the face of the mounting crises. Her attempts to mediate conflicts and restore harmony are often met with limited success, as the forces driving the family's decline prove too powerful to contain. Grandmother Jia's health and vitality, much like the fortunes of the family, begin to deteriorate. Her once firm grip on the household weakens, and she is often overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of the problems they face. The financial instability, political pressures, and personal tragedies that beset the family erode her confidence and resolve. Despite her best efforts, Grandmother Jia is unable to stem the tide of decline that engulfs the Jia family. Conclusion. Chapter 3 of Dream of the Red Chamber delves deeply into the decline of the Jia family, exploring the multifaceted causes and consequences of their downfall. The combination of corruption, mismanagement, and an extravagant lifestyle sets the stage for their financial ruin. Jia Zheng's political struggles and the resulting pressures further exacerbate the family's plight, creating a pervasive atmosphere of anxiety and instability. Amidst this turmoil, Baoyu's disillusionment with the material world and his growing introspection highlight the spiritual and philosophical dimensions of the narrative. Dayu's deteriorating health and heartache, juxtaposed with Baochai's composed dutifulness, underscore the emotional and personal costs of familial duty and societal expectations. The tension between personal desires and familial obligations intensifies, leading to a tragic convergence of events that mark the inevitable decline of the once illustrious Jia family. The chapter paints a vivid picture of the fragility of human endeavors and the transient nature of wealth and power. As the family's fortunes wane, the reader is drawn into a world where love, duty, and sacrifice intersect, revealing the profound and often heartbreaking realities of life within the Rongwa mansion. The decline of the Jia family serves as a poignant reminder of the impermanence of human achievements and the enduring nature of personal suffering and resilience. Chapter 4: Separation and Awakening. The arranged marriage. The Jia family's decline reaches a critical point, and in a desperate attempt to salvage their honor and secure their future, the elders make the fateful decision to arrange Baoyu's marriage to Shui Baochai. Despite Baoyu's evident and deep love for Lin Dayu, the family's pragmatic concerns take precedence. Grandmother Jia and Lady Wang see the union as a necessary step to stabilize their crumbling fortunes and reinforce their social standing. The preparations for the wedding unfold against a backdrop of growing despair within the Rongwa mansion. The once lavish and joyous celebrations are now tinged with a sense of foreboding and sorrow. Baoyu, though complying with his family's wishes, is consumed by inner turmoil. His heart remains with Dayu, and the prospect of marrying Baochai fills him with dread and sadness. Baochai, ever composed and dutiful, accepts the arrangement with grace. She understands the family's expectations and the role she is to play in their grand scheme. Baochai's quiet resignation contrasts sharply with Baoyu's visible anguish, highlighting her strength and the depth of her character. She prepares for the wedding with a heavy heart, knowing the pain it will cause both Baoyu and Dayu. The heartbreaking wedding. The wedding day arrives, and the Rongwa mansion is adorned with decorations, attempting to mask the underlying despair with a facade of celebration. The ceremony proceeds with all the pomp and splendor befitting the Jia family's status, but the joy is superficial. Baoyu moves through the rituals like a man in a daze, his mind and heart elsewhere. Dayu, secluded in her quarters, is overcome with a profound sense of loss and desolation. She can hear the distant sounds of the wedding, each note a painful reminder of the separation from Baoyu. Her health, already fragile, deteriorates rapidly under the weight of her sorrow. Dayu's last moments are filled with heartache and solitude, her love for Baoyu and the unfulfilled dreams haunting her final breaths. On the night of the wedding, as Baoyu and Baochai are united in matrimony, Dayu breathes her last. Her death is a silent, poignant end to a life marked by emotional intensity and poetic beauty. The news of her passing reaches Baoyu, shattering him completely. The profound grief and guilt he feels are overwhelming, plunging him into a state of despair. Baoyu's realization and renunciation. Dayu's death becomes a turning point for Baoyu. The profound grief he experiences forces him to confront the emptiness of his worldly attachments. The love he shared with Dayu, now irrevocably lost, becomes a catalyst for his spiritual awakening. Baoyu reflects on the transient nature of life, love, and the pursuit of happiness, recognizing the futility of clinging to the material world. In the days following Dayu's death, Baoyu becomes increasingly detached from his surroundings. The family's attempts to console him are in vain, as his grief transforms into a deep introspection and a longing for spiritual peace. The once vibrant and rebellious young man now finds solace in the teachings of Buddhism and Taoism, seeking answers to the suffering and impermanence he has witnessed. Baoyu makes the momentous decision to renounce the material world and pursue a life of spiritual enlightenment. He leaves the Rongwa mansion, shedding his earthly ties and embracing the path of a monk. His departure is met with a mix of sorrow and understanding from the family. Grandmother Jia and Lady Wang, though heartbroken, recognize Baoyu's need to seek peace and meaning beyond the confines of their declining household. Baochai's solitary struggle. Baochai, now married to Baoyu but left alone after his departure, faces the full brunt of the family's decline. Her composed and dutiful nature becomes her strength as she navigates the challenges that lie ahead. Baochai assumes the responsibilities of managing the household, trying to mitigate the effects of their financial and social downfall. Her life, marked by unfulfilled personal desires and the burdens of familial duty, reflects the tragic cost of the Jia family's expectations. Baochai's stoicism and resilience stand in stark contrast to the chaos around her. She endures the hardships with a quiet dignity, her love for Baoyu remaining unspoken and unreciprocated. Despite her efforts, the Jia family's decline accelerates. The once grand mansion falls into disrepair, and the family's influence wanes. Baochai's struggle to uphold the family's honor becomes increasingly futile, as the forces of corruption, mismanagement, and political turmoil take their toll. The grandeur of the Jia family fades into obscurity, their story a poignant reminder of the impermanence of human achievements. Reflections on Transience. The story concludes with a profound reflection on the transient nature of life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. Baoyu's journey from youthful rebellion to spiritual awakening underscores the impermanence of worldly attachments. His renunciation of the material world symbolizes a quest for a deeper understanding of existence and a longing for true peace. Baoyu's tragic end, marked by unfulfilled love and emotional suffering, highlights the delicate balance between personal desires and the harsh realities of life. Her poetic and emotional nature, though beautiful, becomes a source of vulnerability in a world driven by pragmatic concerns. Baochai's composed and dutiful life, filled with silent sacrifices, exemplifies the strength required to navigate the complexities of familial expectations and societal norms. Her story, though marked by resilience, also reflects the personal cost of upholding duty over desire. The once glorious Jia family, now fallen into obscurity, serves as a testament to the impermanence of human endeavors. Their rise and fall mirror the cyclical nature of fortune and misfortune, reminding us of the ephemeral nature of wealth, power, and influence. Epilogue: The Echoes of Legacy. In the epilogue, the remnants of the Jia family's legacy are scattered and fading. The Rongua mansion, once a beacon of prosperity, stands as a silent monument to their past glory and present ruin. The stories of Baoyu, Dayu, and Baochai linger in the memories of those who knew them, their lives intertwined in a tapestry of love, loss, and longing. Baoyu, now a monk, finds solace in his spiritual path. His reflections on the transient nature of life bring him a sense of peace and acceptance. The love he once shared with Dayu, though lost in the physical world, becomes a part of his spiritual journey, guiding him towards enlightenment. Baochai, enduring the final stages of the family's decline, remains a figure of strength and grace. Her life, though marked by unfulfilled desires, embodies the resilience and fortitude needed to face the inevitable changes of fortune. The story of the Jia family, encapsulated in their rise and fall, serves as a timeless reminder of the impermanence of human endeavors and the enduring nature of personal suffering and resilience. The echoes of their legacy, though faint, continue to resonate, offering profound insights into the nature of existence and the pursuit of true happiness.